Hey everyone, welcome to today's Explainer. We are traveling way back in time to explore the very origins of ancient China, specifically looking at the Yellow River and the dawn of Chinese civilization. Together, we're going to uncover exactly how early humans went from this grueling, terrifying daily struggle for survival all the way to laying the foundation for one of the absolute greatest civilizations the world has ever known. So let's dive right in. Section 1, a very different Yellow River. The world 6,000 years ago. So, to truly wrap our heads around this history, you've got to completely erase your modern conception of China. I mean, forget the megacities, forget the bullet trains. 6,000 years ago, this landscape was entirely dictated by raw, untamed nature. All you would see for miles and miles were vast grasslands, totally dense forests, and massive winding rivers. No cities, no roads, no farms. It's so easy for us to take modern infrastructure completely for granted, right? But back then, it simply did not exist. There were no supermarkets, no steady crop yields, and definitely no permanent homes to retreat to at the end of the day. The societal safety net was literally zero, which left these early humans waking up every single day with one terrifying, incredibly stressful question. Where will your next meal come from? And honestly, this wasn't some philosophical thought experiment. It was a literal, daily fight to avoid starvation for these small groups living entirely off the unpredictability of the land.
Section 2, the struggle for survival, the nomadic life.
When you honestly have no idea where your next meal is coming from, existence is just this grueling, fast-paced reality. Men and women worked together relentlessly. They were expending massive amounts of energy hunting wild animals, catching fish, and foraging for roots, nuts, or really any edible plants they could find. Survival required immense courage and total teamwork just to make it to tomorrow. Because food was never guaranteed. You might have a hugely successful hunt on a Tuesday and then find absolutely nothing for the next 5 days. If the animal herds migrated out of the area, or if the weather ruined the wild plants, well, families had no choice. They just had to pack up everything they owned and wander off into the unknown in search of food. All right, Section 3, the power of fire and sparking innovation. Let's move to and see how this builds, because this is where early humans finally started getting some leverage over nature. Step 1 was simple tools, crafting stone blades, wooden spears, and bone tools for intricate fishing nets, even figuring out how to weave clothes to survive the harsh weather. Then came a massive game changer, Step 2, the mastery of fire. I mean, this was everything. It gave them warmth, it allowed them to cook their food, and crucially, it kept predators at bay at night. And that feeling of safety, that led directly to Step 3, community bonds. Gathered around those flames, they shared stories, they passed down vital survival skills to their kids, and they really strengthened these fragile, tight-knit communities.
Section 4, the discovery of farming, the ultimate turning point.
Now, this massive turning point started with just one simple, earth-shattering realization. Seeds dropped on the ground actually grow into new plants, right? Up in northern China, the absolute hero of this realization was millet. Millet is this incredibly hardy grain, entirely capable of surviving the super dry soil and totally unpredictable changing climates of the Yellow River region. So its unique resilience made it literally the perfect foundational crop for these early hesitant farmers taking their very first agricultural steps. Section 5, the first permanent villages, the dawn of civilization. And this brilliantly illustrates the massive shift that happened next. Before farming, life was just endless wandering, a daily, stressful search for food packed with uncertainty. But after farming, cultivating millet changed the entire game. With a reliable food supply, that frantic pacing of survival finally slowed down. They built permanent homes, settled down near rivers on fertile land, and for the first time ever, they actually had the stability and time to develop entirely new skills. It's crazy to think about, but the simple act of dropping a seed in the dirt literally laid the building blocks of civilization. By producing a reliable food supply, they were no longer held hostage by nature's whims, so people could focus their energy inward. They improved their permanent homes, they could finally care for their children securely in one single location, and they started developing all these amazing new skills, like pottery. This newfound stability wasn't just a lifestyle upgrade, it was the essential first step toward a highly complex society. Which leaves us with a pretty thrilling question. With daily survival finally secured, what would these early villagers build next? The fertile soil of the Yellow River ended the nomadic life for good, but honestly, this was just the beginning. How would these small settlements use their brand new skills to forge the massive, incredible legacy of ancient China? Well, that is exactly what we'll be exploring next time. Thank you so much for joining me for today's explainer, and as always, keep questioning history.